the Jet Puffed Marshmallow Man?
Same part I remember.
Stay Puffed.
Oh.
Stay Puffed. All right, check this out. Number 6.
Whatever.
Number 6, World of Warcraft. Okay, in 2005, a glitch in World of Warcraft allowed a plague to spread in the game, leading non-infected players to abandon cities while those infected were forced into quarantines. It was later studied by epidemiologists to see how real-life people would react to a pandemic. And this is Rants and Saves. Welcome, everyone. It is that time of day where you listen to several guys do nothing more than bitch, moan, and complain, and also rejoice about all things gaming. While my other computer crashes, I'd like to introduce myself, Dave. Blake finally has a mic.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Ron,
No more robot voice.
Mr. Asian Persuasion Ron is with us also. He's monitoring Dennis Washington's yacht. And we also have Crush. Everyone say hi in rapid succession.
Right. I don't get an introduction. I'll see how this is.
Crush,
I didn't have everybody in here.
Did I-
Blake and Crush.
yes. And then
And fuck me.
there's Crush, who doesn't even claim to be my friend half the time, even though we've known each other for years.
Didn't you expect stuff out of me? If I call you a friend, you would expect stuff out of me.
Maybe just friendship, you
No.
casual ass. Anyway, all right, so guys, recently, everyone's favorite Twitch streamer, or at least 14.5 million people's favorite Twitch streamer, Ninja, made this big ol' switch to Mixer. Y'all hear about this?
Yes.
I think it was on the news somewhere.
Somewhere, right? So he makes the switch, and it was actually a fairly amiable switch from Twitch to Mixer, and the numbers are interesting, but we're not going to go into the numbers right now because I don't have that webpage pulled up on this busted-ass laptop over here that can't seem to do its job. Anyway, so he makes the switch, right? So does anyone know what happens to dormant Twitch channels? Apparently, if you're Ninja, they get turned into a billboard. but not just any kind of billboard. Billboards for porn. Now, it's bad enough that Twitch turns around and like basically cannibalizes his channel to, basically advertise. Well, I guess it's not bad. They were using it for, to try to build up some lesser known streamers, and I guess that's fine, but they weren't. I guess they weren't too careful because literally a channel that was broadcasting literally porn, like dude was just laying into this woman. I didn't see the channel personally. I think we all know.
Sure.
I probably
I
would
looked
have
it
it.
up after the
You haven't
fact.
looked it up, Dave, to be honest.
I mean, I'll have to go for the archive. No,
Dave
apparently.
right now.
What do you think this other laptop's trying to do?
Why do you think the other laptop crashed?
It's
Too much use.
So, but yeah, so he goes on Twitter, makes a video saying that he's absolutely disgusted. He's sorry to his fans. I mean, think about it. He's not. He's been trying for years to put out a family-friendly vibe and his channel to be, accessible to the most amount of people possible. And he literally built quite the little empire on Twitch. I mean, almost 15 million viewers, represents, of all the traffic, okay, we're talking trillions and trillions and trillions of hours of content from millions of streamers, collectively. He represents 0.7 of all their streaming, or represented 0.7 of all their streaming traffic. You know what that means? He was almost 1% of their entire business. And so he gets moved.
Wait, I thought he was at 1% or more, not just 0.7.
0.7 was the last figure we had. So Microsoft comes along and basically buys, with one single contract, they're able to take away 1% of Twitch's business. Probably has to make them nervous, but I don't know. I mean, did anyone? What are the numbers? 250 some odd thousand followers on his first day. Is he going to get back up to 14 or 15 million? Is my question.
Maybe eventually, but
I'm gonna go with
Won't be
no.
overnight. He'll be getting back there. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to take a while because, frankly, does Mixer have everything that Twitch has? And has Mixer even been around as long as Twitch? I don't know these things.
I think it comes down to name brand, honestly. Like a couple weeks ago, one of our friends in our Discord group, hey, plug, mentioned Mixer, and it was the first time I ever heard about it. And I thought she was doing some exotic computer guru stuff. So it just doesn't have that recognition.
Not quite yet. Definitely not.
first time I heard about Mixer was actually from the Ninja Story. So
That's the first time I heard about the platform.
It's working.
Look at that. Well, honestly, though, that's why Microsoft did it. They're not stupid. They know that he himself is a brand, and they know that if they could put money in the right places. I mean, this is like what I was saying was, game stream, like the whole streaming games thing. If you don't know, if you're not able to get that stuff just organically without spending money to do it, then you just spend money to do it. If you want to get into streaming games as a platform, like Amazon or Walmart or whatever, and you don't know how to do it, I feel like they're going to buy their way into it. Just like Mixer is buying their way into market share, just the same way Epic Store is buying their way into market share, trying to, shove Steam around.
Far be it for me to defend Epic, but Epic knows what they're doing at the very least.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're just trying to buy their way into a market, and it's pissing a lot of people off. So, I mean, that's that. Crush, talk to me about your headphones. What'd you get?
Oh, we're gonna plug that in already.
Oh,
okay.
Plug it. We'll plug it.
Yesterday I bought a new pair of headphones. They are quite pricey, yes, but they're $100 off right now at pretty much every retailer: Amazon, Best Buy, even from the Turtle Beach website itself. I bought Turtle Beach Elite Pro 2. The reviews on it are quite mixed, mostly to do with the inline amp that it has. It can be glitchy sometimes. I've experienced a glitch myself. I've had to uninstall the app on my phone and reinstall it just to get it to work again, and force stop it one time. But the sound itself, I don't know if it comes through all that well from speaking point, but the sound itself from playing games and everything, I've not got anything that really pairs well with it. Of course, I came from a Turtle Beach Stealth 500. It was just a wireless headset, which was a great headset. Had that headset for about 6 years. It's just the rubber on the earpieces and the headband just started wearing off, and it's making me mad. So I'm like, I just need a new pair of headphones. So I went and got these yesterday, and I am absolutely in love with them. They sound amazing. They have great noise cancellation for over-ear headphones. They're not 100%, but they definitely help.
Now I've heard mixed. Not to interject too much, but as far as like the noise canceling, in your guys' experience, I think it's safe to say we've all at least used a pair of noise canceling headphones, have we not? All of us,
Yep.
At least at one time or another. Blake, is that what you have right now?
yeah.
So, I mean, he's literally wearing them. Are those the open ear ones? Like, as far as this over here, is it open or is it closed back like these?
Closed.
Closed. So I've heard a lot of folks saying, like, even from some podcasts that I've watched, like Inside Gaming, they talk about these open back ones that actually provide a more realistic sound. Have you guys experienced that? Like, have you tried both to see if you feel like it's a better sound from a closed back versus open back?
No, not really.
No.
I haven't tried them sequentially.
I will say this, just, the one thing that I've experienced that I guess if I could change one thing is that, I do like the noise canceling, but I almost feel like it puts pressure on my head, that it's just, there's no way for the pressure to escape, because it has to do some sort of dampening. I'm not even sure, scientifically speaking, how they make noise canceling work, but you can tell the difference when you turn a pair of noise canceling headphones on and everything just goes dead quiet.
Yeah, the way it works is it picks up on what your sound is from the outside, and then it creates a wave that's 180 degrees out of phase so that it cancels that noise. So any wave that is the inverse of another wave will cancel it out. That is the layman's definition of noise canceling.
Oh, well, it still blew my mind.
Yeah.
My brains are actually
Of course,
back here.
Ron has that information readily available.
Why do you assume that I would be the one to know it?
Obviously, for obvious reasons. I mean, what are we talking about?
For obvious reasons, he says.
Can you do some
quick maths?
I'll let it go.
I'm not gonna let it go.
Addition problems for you, Ron.
Oh man. Well, yeah, I don't know. I spent what, $350 on the headphones that I have. I really like them, but they are like hardcore about the noise cancellation. Oh no, Blake! Did he die? We might have lost him. There you are. Don't ever do that to me again.
Sorry, something weird happened. Just
That
like
wasn't
put it in.
me.
Oh, Crush, that was you. Anyway.
Yeah, it was me. Sorry.
I like how we just automatically blamed Blake.
What the hell?
Well, I mean,
Fair?
all I saw was his video disappear. So, I just...
Even mine, that was precious.
Right. Well,
and you're like, oh, someone's offline. It's got to be Blake.
Someone's glitching out. Blake!
Son of a bitch, this fucking casual.
Ron
with
just
his...
cuts off like, Blake, damn it.
Oh, well, I mean, Christ, it's been a long road just to get you on the fucking show, even though your face is plastered all over all of our, all over our stuff.
Gotta market it, so gotta give the people what they want. So
yeah, here he is. If we don't have record numbers tonight, which should be like, what, 7 people?
First and last podcast, so it's very impressive. Segment was brought to us by Turtle Beach headphones.
Actually, that segment was brought to us by Crush's ISP. Those motherfuckers.
We're not sponsored yet.
Not quite.
Did y'all hear that too? That weird noise?
What, you talking?
No, never mind.
That noise?
That Star Wars noise?
Who's got a lightsaber on in the background? Shut that shit off.
So that's a helicopter.
Oh!
I am currently evading law enforcement. No, I'm kidding.
Ron, I almost...
It actually was a helicopter.
Well...
No, it actually was a helicopter. I'm sitting outside right now, and it's very nice. Enjoying the California sun. Thank you very much.
Fuck your
No wine
California
mixer?
sun. Christ. Why do you always got to rub it in? I mean, I can't complain.
Oh, because I live here.
That's that shit. I'm going to invade your house one time.
Oh,
I am okay with that.
I'm not even going to tell you. I'm
Admitted
showing
that
up
on
though.
on the show.
What show?
But whenever
You guys are going to dox me now?
Dave is the one that's going to break in your house. There's proof.
Yeah. So I guess I did admit to that
Tell
publicly.
him what are you going to do?
I mean, well, shoot. There goes my premeditated defense also.
You're load early, Dave, so it's okay.
Oh,
All right, so everyone's favorite thing about video games is loot boxes, right? That's all of our favorite things, right? Yeah? Yeah?
I love them. I love the fact that I don't know whether I'm going to get a gun or a new color for my bandana.
Yeah. And whatever.
Addiction, so it really helps feed into that.
So did you... who on here plays GTA? I know me and Crush do. Ron, have you ever played GTA? Yay, nay?
I did for a day. I got griefed a lot. Someone took me to their evil lair, and then that was it.
Your character is still in their evil lair. Same session from years ago.
Sex trafficked or something?
Say what?
so that tells everybody if you want a submissive subservient, just Oh, LeBron. He'll go to an evil lair, no question asked.
He'll just,
And in real life.
he'll
Well,
just,
if you have a Lamborghini, that was why I went. Thank you very much.
oh, so you're a gold digger is what you're saying.
Yes.
Lives in Cali, follows shiny automobiles. There you go. That's all you need to know about Ron for right now. Well, anyway, the reason I bring up loot boxes is because of a major change that's coming down the pike. Several key members of the gaming community, such as Microsoft and Sony, are telling developers now, like as a collective effort, that if you don't disclose the drop rates for your loot boxes, and you can't publish on our platform. I, for one, think that's great, but we were talking about loot boxes just before the show started, and some of us have had positive experiences with those loot boxes, and others not so much. I just think, transparency is a good thing. I don't see how this is going to hurt the gaming industry. If anything, it should be kind of a big help. But is it going to scare sufficient people away from doing loot boxes or those microtransactions, stuff like that it's going to hurt business? Anybody?
I'm going to have to look at the stats. Well, I'm hesitating because on one hand, my instinct is like, oh man, kids don't know what they're doing anyways. Nobody cares. Then I'm like, wait, I bet you a lot of these people buying loot boxes are the whales. They're in like their 30s. They're making a decent income, and they're probably just spending it in like a discretionary way. But I guess they don't care either, do they? Because it's like between the whales and the kids, I think they've got that market covered regardless of whether or not they post the statistics.
Yeah, I was going to say that I don't think that the minority of people that are the conscious buyers that are taking into consideration that they may receive this gold item as versus to a whole bunch of bronzes or something like that. I think that's probably not a huge hit. Close the rates. I still think, like you said, it's either going to be the whales that are going to spend it regardless. One free-to-play game, buying packs and packs and packs of things, even if they don't get the gold item or something, just because it's their one big port, just because of them.
Yeah, I was doing some reading about loot boxes, and let's take EA for example. There's an easy punching bag, but I'm not necessarily bringing them up just to make them a punching bag. But EA's easy to point to because they know
all too easy.
Say what?
They do that to themselves all too easy.
Yeah, I mean they really do literally just sit there with a mirror and paint a target on their own back. That's it's kind of their MO. But so as far as like these loot boxes that you do for like soccer players for the FIFA 19 or whatever, in order, I heard some crazy statistic about how you would literally have to spend somewhere in the ballpark of between $5,000 and $7,000 based on the drop rates to get the legendary team put together, or whatever terminology they use, like this epic team or a legendary team or whatever. We're talking about a $60 game here. Is it reasonable to expect someone to spend that kind of money on any game? I mean, are we really that? Is anyone really that? I guess hooked on any particular game that they would spend thousands? I never would.
Question.
I never would.
You wouldn't.
Are they able to access through just regular gameplay? They don't have to spend a dime, correct? If it's locked behind loot boxes, then that's an issue. It's available just for someone that wants to put time into it.
Yeah, I know me personally that if I was presented with, okay, so your chances for getting thus and so is 1 in 50, and a different loot box over here or a different tier loot box has a 1 in 20, something like that. Like the better odds are probably for less valuable items. But honestly, seeing the odds and seeing how little chance I have of getting something that I actually want, would deter me from spending as much. And I can't be the only one. I feel like there's probably a decent contingent of people out there that I only have a 1 in 50 chance, but I'm for sure going to spend, $5-10. That adds up, obviously, over time. But you may not have a snowball's chance in hell of getting what you actually want, so why spend the money? That would be my reasoning.
Yeah, but you're
The
also
thing
right.
about this whole debate with loot boxes, I can't figure out because, I mean, like from my time playing Madden, they constantly promote the Madden packs like any other game with a loot box. Basically, they will promote their moneymaker.
Yeah, that's
But-
normal.
That's normal, yes, but I mean, you don't have to buy those in order to enjoy the game, and they give many options to where, oh hey, we have this great pack that you can buy, like let's say $20 with Madden points and buy get a bundle of 20 player packs, or you can use in-game currency and get one pack of this bundle. The thing with loot boxes I can't figure out is oh, it's gambling. Well, yes, it is a gamble for completely a virtual item. You can't pull open up a loot box. Oh, hey, $5 million just dropped on my bank account because I opened up a loot box. No. My issue with them trying to regulate loot boxes is, yes, they have always been in games, but it's nothing but a chance game. I mean, just like anything. You open up a deck of cards from a deck of Magic cards or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or baseball cards from the store. You're technically gambling on what you get in that pack.
Oh yeah, you never knew back in the day, when we were kids, you go to the little gas station or your 7-Eleven or what have you, and they got those little packs of Pokemon cards up on the shelf. Everyone hoped that they would get one of those foil, Charizard cards. Everyone was hoping to get one of those. It was just luck of the draw. But every time you went in there, you still spent the same amount of money, however many dollars those packs of cards were. And I never got any special cards out of there. Damn it, I probably spent way too much money on those. Never had a good deck, lost to all my friends, and now I have self-esteem issues. So
It's everything.
So you just proved the argument against loot boxes.
exactly, they ruined lives. Look at me.
The loot box campaign, they'll just have a picture of Dave's face, and it just says,
This-
you.
Surgeon General's warning:
It's like
you may
before
end up
loot
like
boxes,
this.
it's like a healthy man. After loot boxes,
yeah, you see some successful guy in a business suit. This is you before loot boxes. My picture
Yeah,
is
I
the
guess-
after.
I guess that's, from my point of view, the way I view loot boxes is why all of a sudden is there this huge oh, this is gambling. There needs to be some type of committee over this because it's considered gambling. But in the same sense, like I said, it's like opening up a pack of cards back in the 80s and 90s. You didn't know what you got until you opened up that pack of cards. You could have got something amazing to trade with your friends, and get something really collectible that's worth money.
Well, let me
Now with the loot boxes in
I wanna
video
be- I-
games,
I-
it's not that way.
I want to be the business buzzkill right now and just drop some
bitch.
business. Yeah, you're welcome, Crash. I think the difference between that and a pack of Pokemon cards, for example, right? So you go to get Pokemon cards as a kid, right? I mean, sure, you can get your parents' credit card, but they check your statements. You still have to swipe the stupid thing. Sometimes they set a cap on it. Maybe you're walking in with cash, right? Now you're a kid buying loot boxes. It's instant gratification. You can get as many of them as your little heart desires in a short span of time. 9 times out of 10, I would say parents don't really set any kind of limitation on it.
yeah,
And,
idiots.
they actually- yeah, exactly. I mean, that's on them, sure, yeah. But they just don't do that. And they've also started doing studies about how loot boxes and electronic, I'll call it quote unquote gambling, is actually physiologically addicting. So now you're getting kids into addictive behavior with zero transactional friction. I think that's where the issue is where you can get addicted really easily and also very easily spend money. You could probably get addicted to buying Pokemon cards, but it'd be really hard to spend the money that fast. I think
quantity of issue too. And actually, when I was a kid, I was into Lord of the Rings trading cards.
Oh, that's what they called them.
because of course you would.
Yeah, of course it was. And if there's a Dark Souls one, damn it, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna get into that too.
Probably.
Hey, did you know there's a Dark Souls board game with quote unquote DLC?
Man, I have seen that. I'm actually gonna try to buy that sometime.
Hey Blake, can I make one suggestion for you, Blake? Though, why don't you try finishing Sekiro?
As a kid, though, I was like super obsessed with these card packs and wanted to get more and more. But I had to go to the store to buy them, to get them, and I mean, at the time, I had needed just something in order to access it. So I guess the only different barrier in that sense would be that if I did have a credit card or something for my parents, I could keep going to the store. Something that's different is if you're in the game or you're in an app on your phone or something, you just keep clicking that button. You just have access. Your credit card's linked to an account. Again, it is far too simple, I think, in some cases.
Well,
and geared towards children, hey, like right on the front page, the top option, the most is something that's $50 for this pack, and it's going to be the most you're going to be able to get new characters, things like that. Is where I have an issue. I don't have an issue with transactions like that, but I think developers have gotten under scrutiny for that being somewhat deceitful then to get and make it accessible for children. That's where I have a problem.
Yeah, honestly, I actually used to work for Xbox way back in the day. This was years ago, so I'm sure things have changed. Since my days there. But a big push back then was security. I would take the phone calls with the angry parent who said, little Johnny, I don't know why everyone named their kid Little Johnny, but Little Johnny just spent...
Not just Johnny.
Little Jill and Little Johnny just spent 600. They literally spent our Disney money on fucking extra characters for Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Well, I guess they ain't going to Disney now.
And so all this stuff that they would spend money on. And honestly, though, Microsoft, again, I'm speaking to a years old model, from back when I worked there, but they took great lengths to make sure that the tools were there so that parents could lock down these accounts. If a parent was dumb enough to not keep up with and set the security, like I spent a ton of time helping set up parental controls after the fact when Microsoft had already made sure beforehand that the tools were available. Parents aren't educated and they don't know how different today's gaming is from the decades ago when we used to play, when you literally took a cartridge, blow into it, stick it in a thing, there's no online connectivity whatsoever, and you're playing Mario. It's not that isolated system anymore. You're literally interconnected with the entire globe, playing games with people all around the world, and have access instantly to whatever money's attached to whatever card. And these parents, literally just because of laziness. I mean, I'm just going to call it what it is. It's laziness. If you don't take the time to regulate what your kids are doing on your console and you call up to customer service angry, it's your fault.
No, it's your fault.
No, it's your fault. But seriously, though, like every tool is available regardless of the platform. They all look and operate slightly differently, but the tools are there. Parental controls have been around as long as online has been around. Parents just don't use them. But and to circle back around to the whole gambling thing, I was going to play devil's advocate and talk about how, if you were to go to Vegas and talk to any hotel manager or casino operator out there, they're so heavily regulated and under scrutiny from law enforcement and government officials and all that, blah, 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 to make sure that they're running an above-board operation, and they have to pretty much advertise their odds for all these various machines right on the machine that you're sitting at. People know the odds when they sit down, and they still put that stuff in. So my question is to you guys, are they so different from when someone walks into this now that GTA 5 has it in their online segment? You can literally walk into a casino, okay? You can spend real dollars to get fake dollars to use in a casino. And in fact, Ron, you posted an article in our little show prep chat about how people are going broke, in-game money, that is. They're going broke and loving it because they don't have to leave their house to go gambling. Yay, we can do it in the comfort of our own home and spend all this money.
Yeah. You know what that's called? It's called an addiction. Hooray!
Yeah, and so, but how different is that? Like, where do we draw the line? Apparently, some people are saying, okay, well, we could draw the line at where it becomes virtual, but there's literally virtual casino games that have been on PC for ages.
Yeah, there's been all kinds over Facebook throughout the years as apps on the phone. But, I mean, where do we draw the line at, like, virtual currency then?
Well,
Because, I mean, it's always been there.
That's my question, because how different is it really? If we're talking about addictions, we literally have people who, would testify that they feel the same way gambling online that they do going to a casino.
You do. It's proven. Psychologists have proven that it's the same mechanism. Basically, if you get some kind of thing that stimulates the reward center of your brain, even if it's low probability, you're going to try to keep the same. Online gambling, online poker rooms is like one different beast where you actually gamble real money with real people. But I think they've gotten away with it for so long because it's kind of a legal gray area. It's not legal in that it's hard to define. It's not gray in that it's hard to define. It's gray in that it's really difficult to enforce. So we can talk all we want about how we should regulate it, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of gray area that you can get away with because the internet allows for anonymity and for multiple accounts from the same person. There's just ways to circumvent enforcement when you're online.
Yeah, man, it's a tough call because I would say, I mean, they're pretty much the same, but at the end of the day, there's already all these regulations in place about gambling as a concept that you have to be a certain age, and you obviously can't gamble with no money, and you are completely, you're gambling at will. No one's forcing you to go in there, and no one's got a gun to the back of your head saying that you have to, bet all your chips on red when you're playing the wheel, or whatever. People are doing this of their own volition, and sure, some people have, maybe a, what's it called? I can't think of the word I'm thinking of. Can't figure out the word I'm thinking
like a predisposition?
Predisposition. It was pre-something. Anyway, like a predisposition to, falling into gambling hard. And there's hotlines and stuff like that, like Bets Off and whatever, all those other ones that you've probably heard of.
How does those work?
Well, I mean, maybe they do. If it's backed by psychology, who knows? Maybe it works for some people, but I don't know. It's kind of that slippery slope. But honestly, it hadn't been a huge talking point, if we're honest, until recently when GTA just literally came out. And I kind of feel like they were standing there looking down this row of developers, and no one's gonna do it. So they're like, we have a casino in our game, yay! and then everyone was like, hey, whoa. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised.
Players have been asking for ever since GTA 5 came about. That where's a casino? We need a casino.
Yeah, I mean, honestly though, okay, is there anyone?
San Andreas had a casino.
Yeah, but San Andreas, like that casino, beat this one's ass hardcore. Like, don't get me wrong, the graphics are pretty on this one, but it's like one level, and the games are so basic. I wish there was.
Yeah, the games suck.
The Tell us how you real feel, Crush.
Truly, they do. Like, I've been to casinos, and I've never been to a casino with worse odds than what they have in GTA 5.
But Crush, they're going to post those odds so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into.
Hey, this is how quick you're going to give us our money.
Yeah. Hey, you know what odds I want to know? What are the odds on Blake ever finishing any of the games he buys? Actually,
Zero.
what
Zero.
I got off easy on that one.
Well, no, you didn't, because whatever those odds are, they're even worse for Ron. Rip pretty much every game on Ron's shelf that he's purchased in the last 8 months.
Rip my wallet.
And your wallet. Yes, the poor thing. Blake, your shirt makes me hungry. Damn it, I want pizza. What does it say? What's your shirt say?
Every pizza is a personal pizza yourself.
I I feel like that speaks directly to me.
It's a very personal shirt for me, so
It's a
I
very
feel like that's a self-motivation shirt.
yeah.
I should wear this to the gym.
You should. Wait, did you say you should or you have?
Haven't yet. I don't know why I haven't yet. Been to the gym in a while.
Slacker. Just being a slacker is what you
Dave's like, you disgust me.
Well, literally, I haven't been to the gym in quite a while. Let's see. I didn't go yesterday. That
What
makes
year is this?
that makes 3 decades. But I tell you what, though, I I vowed I would never put any extra money into Rockstar, but you know, I fell into the whole like, what is that? Who's got a train going by or some shit?
The buzzing sound, I just
We
looked
have
up. Y'all, I wish you guys were here, or I wish my video were on for you guys to see this, but 2 World War II era P-51 Mustangs are flying in formation across San Diego Bay.
What? Is there an air show?
No, it's just 2 P-51s flying. I think, you know what it is? I bet you it's like Dennis Washington or one of those billionaires here just flying to
He took off then the runway that's built out of the middle of his yacht. He's got the that launcher built into it and just slingshot his own personal World War II era Mustang right off his boat. Oh man. Actually, speaking of aircraft, has anyone played a decent air sim in a while?
Ace Combat.
Ace
No,
Com-
define sim.
simulator. You know, doesn't have to be combat, just like a flight sim.
Well, it's because Ace Combat isn't technically a simulator. If I can be the actually guy for a second, it's more arcadey than like flight sim actually is. You can do a bunch of shit that wouldn't ever fly in a real airplane, pun intended. But it is fun.
That was such a dad joke. Go have kids, Ron. You need credentials for jokes like that.
To do to have kids, right?
Say what?
Continue.
I feel like I missed a gem just now.
Well, everything usually goes over your head anyways.
I'm not that short. Crush. But I mean, I don't want to talk to you. You're not even my friend. All the times that you
Now you finally understand.
Oh man. Well, that. How long have we known each other, Crush? It's been years. It literally has been years. But do you remember what year?
Is it your friend anniversary? Is that what Facebook is telling you?
No, No, because that wouldn't be accurate anyway. He refused to even be my friend on Facebook for years after we met. Yeah, I'm the poster child for a lot of bad, sad things. Sad things, not bad, but sad.
Bad things.
Yeah. I know. Okay, I remember what I wanted to talk about. I was literally killing time while my slow ass brain was trying.
Look at how prepared we are, guys.
Huh?
I said, look at how prepared we are, guys.
Oh yeah. Well,
We're prepared.
my laptop over here. Look, I mean, certain browser windows and tabs were causing crashes, so I don't have.
Close Pornhub, and you won't have any more crashes.
Well, I mean, it's froze on a scene, and I just anyway. So
Frozen or paused?
I think you meant to say pause.
I think it's none of your business. No, okay, so Crush and I were talking about audio and video of the next generation. 4K versus 8K. Can your eyes tell the difference? Ron.
Ron's can.
Okay. So your eyes have an angular resolution of some number of arc seconds. I forgot whether it was 0.1 or 0.2 or 1 or 2. Somewhere in that order of magnitude. Depending on how far you sit from a television, it may or may not make a difference. Although at one point with too high of a resolution, you might be sitting too close to the television to exploit your full field of view, making the additional resolution worthless. There is your 20-second stereotypical Asian answer right there.
I expected nothing more or less.
Into the family.
I expected more. You disappointed me, Ron.
I'll tell you my dumb American version of this. Crush, damn it! Quit dropping out.
Something keeps happening to my sound. I don't know if it's headphones or just Discord being weird. Or
I don't know, but every
Really
time.
Southern accent when you speak too. I don't understand.
Oh.
It's funny because Florida's in the South too.
Oof.
I'm from Indiana.
Oh, self-incrimination burn. All right. Well,
Accent.
so my dumb American
I don't
version.
have a southern accent.
Somehow that was worse. That was somehow worse.
That was the joke, Dave. Damn it!
Yeah, Dave, a joke like your life.
Hey, only I'm allowed to make those. Well, so what I was gonna say about the whole visuals thing, unless you're one of those guys who have trained with Tibetan monks to
Ron.
literally see every single pixel on a screen, I
They
really
do?
don't feel like people are going to be able to tell much difference.
You
Between
literally
4 and 8.
biologically cannot. I am rolling my eyes right now at anyone who says they can beyond a certain point. And so I actually created a spreadsheet. This is how nerdy I am, guys. This is how much of a stereotype I am. You're welcome, Henry.
I need to do a window capture of your screen so we can see it.
I'll send it out in the, I don't know, video description or whatever it is that we do. But I actually created a spreadsheet to figure out how much resolution you need and how far you need to sit from the TV to fully exploit the capabilities of your TV. I have a 47-inch TV that I sit about 10 feet from.
Uh-huh.
My calculator is telling me that you don't need anything more than like 560p on that baby. Like, your eyes cannot tell the difference from 10 feet away between like 560 and 1080. They biologically cannot. Assuming you have 20/20 vision, you cannot. So if you think you need 8K, unless you have a wall-sized TV, you're probably not going to get much bang for your buck.
What if you're a cat?
Boom! Wait, if they're a cat, they probably care more about pruning and looking judgmentally at their humans than anything else.
And slowly gliding or sliding vases off of countertops, of course.
Oh my god, the funniest shit in the world is this little motion.
Maintaining eye contact the entire.
Look, you gonna do something?
Yeah, like, okay, flat earthers, explain this. How is there anything left on the planet? Because we have cats everywhere. How is there anything still on the planet? Ron, someone should make a t-shirt explaining why flat earthers are stupid.
So I have a dumb conspiracy theories shop. Another shameless plug, except for myself this time. This podcast brought to you by my dumb website. I'm going to make that as one of the t-shirts now, of a cat pushing a vase or a boat off of the edge of the earth.
Do a boat! Dennis Washington's boat!
Oh my god, yes, I am going to push a cat tattoo off the edge of the earth. You're welcome,
Actually,
Mr. Washington.
you can have a giant cat pushing his helicopter off the boat. And an even bigger cat pushing the boat off the earth. Yes, I have a weird imagination. Don't look at me in that tone of voice, Blake. I see you over there. I can actually see you
that
this
tone
time.
of voice. I'm sorry.
If only you could see my face right now, Dave.
I don't want to see your face.
I don't want to see my face either.
Oh, well.
Why do I have this mirror in front of me?
Oh, I have to do grooming again. No. Well, so yeah, I have a 4K television right now, and I sit an average of, what, maybe 10 to 12 feet away from it. And, honestly, the only difference that I can see is if I move way up closer to the television. If I'm sitting, right up close, then yeah, I can see the aliasing on the edge of the characters. I can see the graininess that they've introduced to, try to simulate motion blur in some sort of weird way.
Aliasing and motion blur are not a resolution problem. Sorry, I'm there's going to be a lot of actually moments from me right now because
Well,
science.
do it, absolutely, Mr. Science. Are you? You're not going to finish the thought?
No, I was going to say aliasing and motion blur are not a part. It's not a resolution issue. Both of those things are graphically intensive because you're taking a thing and you are post-processing it. Anti-aliasing, especially if you have a shitty video card, try to turn it up to 8x and you will see how much it struggles. So it's really just a game engine trying to save memory and has nothing whatsoever to do with your resolution, unless your resolution really sucks ass.
Well, but see,
But then everything would be blocky. Everything would be blocky then.
Well, right. What I'm talking about, though, is when the developer, when they code this game for this platform, let's say it's PS4 Pro, it's what I play on, a game like Division 2, which is otherwise a really good-looking game, except for certain details. For instance, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but NPCs, when you walk up to them and their hair doesn't fully render, and so they have this weird texture. It's almost like they're wearing this floating plastic bag of hair-shaped whatever on their head. And
Wearing a wig.
Yeah, but the wig isn't it's levitating off of their scalp and shit. It looks so weird and doesn't it doesn't complement the game at all. And it's literally this game trying to live up to some sort of expectation of 4K-ishness. Unless the developer is actually developing this game effectively for the capabilities of both the platform and the monitor it's being displayed on. I mean, a lot of times you're not going to be getting full benefit for whatever it is that they're claiming anyway, seems like to me.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that's a monitor issue. I think that's a GPU. I mean, it could be if your settings are kind of blurred, but that's another GPU issue where it's we don't have the resources to process what it is you want us to.
Yeah, I get that, but a lot of the asset pop-in that happens in Division 2 also is kind of ridiculous. If I'm standing next to, if I'm running up to, let's say, a broken down bus, and from 100 yards out, it's got square wheels, and then I approach slowly to, just for the sake of immersion. I'm like, okay, apparently I'm running through this game too fast. Let me just slow my roll and just kind of waltz up here casually. And it still takes several seconds for the thing after I have stopped and I'm staring at the, at the vehicle for it to pop in finally. That's one of the things that I'm hoping is eliminated when Stadia comes out, that we don't have issues like that they have all this. Of course, I get around to Stadia. All right, Blake.
Wow, it only took you 50 minutes to not. You're not getting your paycheck.
Bro, I mentioned Stadia fairly early on. If you were listening.
No, you didn't. I was listening. You didn't say nothing about Stadia because I was about to say Dave
well, maybe
hasn't said
not
anything about Stadia tonight.
Maybe not Stadia directly, but I was talking about game streaming, which is
Interject real quick and go about a Bloodborne monologue for a second here, okay? So,
Are you gonna do it? No? All right.
I'm gonna save it for episode 2.
This
This
is
is episode 2.
This is episode
3.
episode 3.
2.3.
Never come back,
2.9.
guys.
For Blake, it's like
This is my
episode.
first and last episode.
That's like it's episode 2.5 or whatever.
It's like 2.8.
Yeah, thank you for the Kingdom Hearts dumb numbering reference. 2.8 mix.
Final remix.
So, I wonder where these game developers get their numbering skills. Battlefield 2, 3, 1, 5. I get confused. Fallout 3, 4, 76. I feel like whoever is in charge of numbering has Tourette's.
He passed up on the Xbox 720 and went straight for Xbox One for the third console in the console line.
Oh wait, we didn't have an Xbox One?
Coming in 2020, Xbox 360 2?
360, and it's literally 360
2.
Hold on, but can we talk about the Xbox that comes after? It goes Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Scarlet. Good numbering.
Yeah, they're like, now we're just going to letters. It's gonna be, look, it's Xbox.
So it's just like 1,
Xbox,
2,
Jeremy
3,
Renner.
4, 5.
Do we?
At least Sony keeps it somewhat okay.
Yeah, but do we really think they're just gonna come out and call it PS5?
Well,
Yes,
they've had
I
the
totally expect
the
that.
PlayStation, the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4. So
just-
history says PlayStation 5.
I
They should call
don't.
it the PlayStation Vita console.
I just have this weird feeling like they're gonna, to spite everyone, they're just gonna call it like the.
It's like a practical joke. Should call it the PlayStation Xbox, just for fun.
Or just the PlayStation box. I don't know if they could get away with using actual, like, the words Xbox. Did you know? Okay, here's an interesting fact that I didn't have to look up, that I just heard in a podcast once, and we all know it's true because it was in a podcast once. That most of the staff hated the suggestion of the name Xbox, and they wanted to call it all these other things. Or wait, no. Was it the other suggestions they hated, and they finally settled on Xbox when corporate get... Okay, never mind.
I don't know if it's actually the fact or not, because I forgot what they said.
Yeah, so we're just going to pretend.
Well, it's
right?
like I remember when the Wii came out, the Nintendo Wii. The code name for that was a Nintendo Revolution. I'm like, that was a great name. I would think.
Yeah, that is boss name.
But then they actually announced it as Wii. I'm like, that's just going to be stupid.
Well, for some reason, okay, when I saw the first Nintendo Wii commercial, and it's like literally, I don't know if it was Miyamoto himself in the commercial, but, you know, some representative of Nintendo walking up this person's sidewalk, knocking on their door, and like doing the, you know, the whole bow thing, and they had the Wii controller, and they literally just said Wii. I'm like, well, this is strange. You've got you got this Oriental guy, and he's saying a French word. I don't get it. Why is he speaking French? And he's got a controller. I don't know what's going on.
Can you imagine what a bizarre day that would be? You're like hanging out in your house, having a few beers in your underwear, and then you get a knock on the door. It's Shigeru Miyamoto with a controller in his hand. He goes, "Wee," bows, and walks off.
and he doesn't even give you the console. It just gives you the controller. So you're literally sitting there with, is this a vibrator? I don't know what to do with it. I mean, I've been in some dark places on Reddit. I've seen what happens to Wiimotes. By the way, how is it the entire Midwest of the United States doesn't know Reddit exists? Get up with the damn times. All right? I'm looking at you, camera. I'm looking at you, all of the internet. Find out about Reddit. Jeez.
Somehow I think our Flash listeners will know what Reddit is.
I mean, like, I try to find local singles on Reddit, and there's no one in the Midwest.
Maybe they're just hiding from you, Dave. I mean, I don't blame them one
The
bit.
little banner at the bottom of your websites, Dave, is that what you're talking about? Because those don't work.
Say again?
The male one, Dave.
Hot
That'll work
local singles in your area.
What do you mean those don't work? Shit.
better. Yeah, but they're all guys on Dave's.
True. Well.
For guys named Dave, that's it.
Isn't it stupid how oddly specific those ads become? Like, they're literally, are you 33, own a PlayStation 4 Pro, and are looking to date? Like, that's me!
Living at 153 Main Street?
How do you know my address? Yes, give me whatever you're selling.
Social. What are you talking about?
Do you drive a blue little, take my money? Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, those ads just creep me out more than that's why I always tell them, don't personalize ads for me. Like, I know you already know what I'm thinking, and you're monitoring me every second of the day, but can we at least have the illusion of privacy, please?
Ignorance is bliss.
Oh, yeah. Shoot. If ignorance is bliss, then I'd rather, I'd love to be in heaven. So, anyway, this has been Such As It Is, the Rants and Saves podcast. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll catch.
Leave it off at hot local singles, Dave.
Say what?
I'm all for that.
Well, look, I just.
Leave our episode off at hot local singles.
Yeah, we are literally signing off.
So,
Well, because
We're signing off on Dave being single and pathetic and looking for a guy named Dave. And he's 33.
I give
PlayStation 4 Pro. First date ideas.
right. Bring it. It's a BYOC kind of thing. Bring your own controller. I'll supply the whiskey.
Controller, dude, sure. They're not allowed to touch them.
Yeah, don't touch. I've got the red controller. Red, it's mine. Don't touch. I have a small graveyard of controllers over by my PlayStation that I need to go through. And it's not because I abuse them. It's just they just die after a while. All right. Well, that's it. So, make sure to find us on Twitter. All of our stuff is on our Twitch page. So if you made it this far, all you got to do is look at all the links that we have to our other things. We got a Twitter link, Rants and Saves. We got an Instagram, Rants and Saves. So you can go there and you can yell at us and tell us how dumb we are and how hopeless my love life is and how Asian Ron is. Just because.
Hey,
I have to
I
plug.
wasn't even in video this time. No way.
They can see your.
Words.
They
Never
can
mind.
see your picture, Ron.
For our Mixer account that's coming soon, because then our Twitch one's just going to be an ad for gay porn in honor of Dave.
Yes, when we make our big switch to Mixer and take all three of you with us.
Can we put our plug in for Mixer right now for a fraction of Ninja's payout?
Right. Actually, I do think it's funny that you're mentioning Mixer because we actually do have a Mixer.
Of course you would, Dave.
Look, trying to get our name out there, man.
I know things.
I'm trying to get our stuff out there. I want us to be.
Now, wait a minute. We're sitting here talking about Mixer while we're streaming on Twitch. That definitely makes sense.
Well, look, I mean, we have a YouTube that we could also stream to directly. We have Twitch, but I only have one laptop. I can only stream so many places at one time.
Ups the other ones for porn, though.
Right. Well, actually, Twitch is the only one that's allowing it. So, if we want to do the, our family-friendly content, it's got to be on Mixer. Here, we just talk about dicks.
Perfect. Yeah, let's stay with Twitch then. Into my values, I think, at that point.
Yeah. Twitch most closely resembles what I hold dear. Oh, by the way, okay, not to throw Twitch under the bus because we are literally streaming on Twitch as we speak. They did take that channel down, permanently suspend it, and apologize. So, I mean, and they did cease advertising on Ninja's channel, by the way. I know we didn't circle around to the actual end of that story where all is right with the world and they're apparently evaluating, recommendations on dormant channels. Well, I mean, this is what happens, though, when you let a computer decide what gets advertised on somebody's dormant channel. Shouldn't let a computer.
Well, they didn't apologize to me and my bank account. I'm heavily offended by that channel. Even though I've never watched it, I'm heavily offended. They must pay me restitution.
Yep. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned restitution because I think one of the things I'd like to talk about next week is the website G2A. Are any of you guys familiar with that?
Sure.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
G2A is basically a code reseller. Like a game code reseller. So they take a game key that you would use to redeem to get, let's say, Assassin's Creed Odyssey or whatever. They take that game key, the digital, download for it, and they turn around to resell it for rock bottom prices. I am not advertising or advocating for them because the developers, and I don't want to go too deep into this because, this is supposed to be a part of next week. But anyway, G2A basically has offended a lot of developers, and they would rather that you pirate their games than to buy them off of G2A. That way G2A doesn't make money. So, yeah, that's a literal discussion that has happened. So, anyway, we won't dwell too much on that. We'll save that for next episode. Find us on Twitch. Obviously, you've already found us there if you're watching. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all those social media things. And we will catch you next week. But not at the same time, though. All right. See you guys.